Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Episode 5. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Episode 5 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters is now out on Apple TV for you guys to go and check out right now. Now, last week's episode, I didn't really enjoy as much as the previous ones. I kind of felt like it was a bit filler, and I kind of felt like I don't know why they abandoned the storyline of the past, because that was one of the most interesting parts of it that got me, invested in it. And then I've really enjoyed the first three, and especially episode 3 to me was just absolutely fantastic. Now we move into episode 5, and the drop-off in this show is just crazy at this point, because I didn't enjoy this one as much either. I just felt like this was kind of like a meh episode. I really did. Now, for some unknown reason, I don't know why they've done this. Hopefully we get to find out in the next few episodes. But they've just all of a sudden just ditched the past storyline. Like, they've just ditched it. After the first 2 episodes, and then the third one, it's kind of like we're just, like, not even talking about it. Like, it doesn't exist. Now, it was a major focal point of this show. And it was one of those storylines that I was really invested in. Like, I wanted to see these 3 people and their adventure to discovering this, to building Monarch to what it is today. But they've really just abandoned that. And now, the stuff in the present, the most interesting part is Shaw himself. He is the most interesting character. And he has little screen time here. And when he is on screen and he's talking to, the person that's in charge of Monarch there, it's the most interesting conversation of the whole entire episode. And it's like, I want to know more about this. I want to understand this. And then when they're having the conversation behind the screens, when they're watching it, they're talking about something about him. And there's a thing that's referenced about his age where she says, he's supposed to be like 90, but why does he look like this? That is interesting. I want to know those answers. I want to discover those answers, but we're not finding out anything about it. This episode, again, felt like filler. I feel like you could have put last week's episode and this episode together to create one episode that would have run perfectly fine. Because this episode is we follow our trio, not from the past, from the present, and we follow them go to San Francisco to find the other office. And it's just like this, I get it. I understand creating the post-traumatic experience of G-Day with the particular character is great. And I enjoy that aspect. But I feel like as an episode as a whole, it just didn't have any substance to it that made me really gravitate to it and be like, yes, this is what I came to watch. Like, I don't want big Godzilla action 24/7. That's not what I understand. That's not what Monarch is about. And it's fine. Because, like, my favorite episode is the one that doesn't have the big monster action. We just see it at the end. But it was the most interesting because it had the storylines and it started to go somewhere. And it started to incorporate these 2 storylines from past and present together, starting to collide to become this interesting mystery. And then the fall off from the next 2 episodes kind of just like, what is going on with this show, man? What is going on? I don't know why they're making these decisions. I don't know. But the stuff involving the character that is having, the experience of G-Day and stuff like that, remembering it as she's in San Francisco, I enjoy that. Obviously, now we know the mother has now figured out that he was cheating. And, like, she sees Kentaro there for the very, very first time. And it's like, this is the kid that, your husband had with another woman. So I like that reaction and her coming to terms with that and understanding that. There was this really good conversation between the daughter and her about, like, if you want to just, break down, just do it. Let it out. Like, you need to do that because this is, like, something that's massive. Like, you just found out that this kid is your husband's kid with another woman that you didn't know about. So you have that dynamic as well. Then you have some of the chase sequences in here when the military or what the police or whatever they are chasing them through the ruins of San Francisco. I mean, another thing I had with this is it's very dark and it's very hard to see sometimes in certain shots what is actually happening, where they're going. So that's a bit of a bummer as well. And all we know now, so this is the big kicker though. After this episode, all we know is they need to go to Africa. That's really the only thing we learnt. That's just the only thing we've learnt this whole, like, the last two episodes is he's alive and now they need to go to Africa. That's it. Like, we've had 2 episodes leading into this. Nothing done with the past. So we have no idea whether the doctor who fell is alive. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know why Shaw is not aged appropriately. What is the issue with that? We don't know what happened to Billy. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know what is going on with that, like how Monarch turned into what it is today. We don't know. They've abandoned that storyline. And now we're just like, yo, we're following these people. And now we know that there's a double agent now. So we obviously see that the computer whiz is now like, I want to go home. And I'm going to throw everyone under the bus in order to do that, as she calls the person who is with Monarch. So it's kind of like, so you've done all the hard work to get where you are, and now all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm just going to turn on all these people. To me, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this. So far, episode 1 and 2, I really enjoyed. Episode 3, absolutely freaking loved. Episode 4, it was okay. Some cool action sequences and yeah, it was alright. And episode 5, I probably would say this is probably the weakest episode so far. And I'm a bit worried now. I'm a bit worried because we're coming in to territory where it's kind of like we started off strong and now we're starting to dip. And we're continuing that dip. I really am hoping next week's episode, episode 6, is a trajectory back up. Because at this point in time, I'm starting to get a bit drowned by this show. I am. I'm starting to do it. Like, I wish... I get why, like, some people don't like the jumping back and forth from the past and the present. But man, that past storyline is so intriguing and so interesting. And for them to just drop it in the last 2 episodes, it's just kind of mind-boggling to me. Because that was easily the strongest part of the show and the best part of the show. And they left it with like a cliffhanger ending where she falls and we don't know what happened. You know, the bomb of Godzilla, we don't know what happened with him. So I really hope episode 6 picks back up that storyline. We start to understand more. Shaw has to be more in this episode, in this as well, because he is the best character so far. And when he's on screen, he's the most interesting thing. And it's like, I want to know more about him. The other 3, I just kind of am getting a bit drowned by. I really am just starting to be like, I don't really care for them. I really don't. So let me know what you guys thought. Maybe you guys loved episode 5, and if you did, that's freaking awesome. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the new episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe, and peace out.